So maybe let's try to find some of those teams that fit the bill of good bargains that maybe can still win some games. Or you can go with the brand names. Just make sure that you're careful with laying some of those big juicy numbers. So Jenks, let's start with this one. You've been riding high on the Cubs lately, and I will say this: the Cubs kind of fit that bill for me as a team that has been good, but they're not priced like one of the best teams in baseball. So today they are favored once again against the Marlins. Maybe the matchup isn't quite as tempting as yesterday when they had Jameson Taillon going. So Chicago minus 140, Marlins plus 115, total of 9 runs. Cade Horton, Max Meyer is your matchup. Max Meyer going for the Fish, Horton for the Cubs. Are you going to be on this Cubs game for the 3rd day in a row?
I sure am, and I'm betting the over here. I found a price over 8 minus 148. I already bet it. Love this play. Love this play. There's been 15 runs scored in each of the first 2 games. I mean, if you don't want to lay the juice and you want to go over 9, I'd play that as well. I was hot on Max Meyer early in the season, but over his last 4 games, he has an ERA of almost 8. Almost 8. Yeah. The Cubs' bats have been just red hot in this series. And Cade Horton going for the Cubs, giving up at least 3 runs in 2 starts. I just don't know how you don't play the over here. It's been an over series the entire time. Also, these are the 2 best over teams in Major League Baseball. So, yes, I am absolutely on this game.
Yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense. And it feels like the Cubs could probably carry a lot of the load here just because they've been scoring so many runs. And as for the Marlins, their starters have not been going deep in the series, which is what you would expect when the other offense is absolutely mashing the baseball. None of their starters have gone more than 5 innings. So at this point in the series, it just feels like the bullpen's going to be worn down even more. And it's not a bullpen that really, had me shaking in my boots to start with. So I think you either go over here or you go Cubs team total. I think it's probably going to have to be a 5.5, which is a little nerve-wracking, but still, this Cubs offense has been an absolute wagon. One of the best offenses in Major League Baseball against a Marlins team that is not exactly great. So I think that's a good look there. All right, next up, maybe we'll skip the Reds and the Pirates. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the Pirates and the Reds, like that series has not been good for us. Or the Reds in general. Every time I've trusted the Reds to beat a bad team, they just don't. Like, I'll say that Brady Singer usually is a good pitcher, but I don't know. Like, I don't want anything to do with this game.
I'd play the under is what I would play. I mean, Brady Singer, at some point you would hope. I mean, he hasn't been good this season. But also he's taking on a Pirates lineup that is dead last in Major League Baseball in runs scored per game. So yesterday the Pirates won 1-0. So Andrew Heaney is a guy I haven't trusted generally. But look, the stats are the stats. He's been really good this year for Pittsburgh. And there's always a chance, I guess, the Reds' bats could go up. But I feel like if you can get this under 8, you just go under. And it's an early game as well. I might go with the under here. Quick turnaround. That generally lends itself to the under anyway. I'd go under 8.
All right. So next up, here's a soft toss. Here is a slow fastball that you can tee off on. Phillies, Rockies. Jenks, I'm kind of surprised that the Phillies are only minus 250. At some point, I thought they would be like minus 350 in this one. So it's Taijuan Walker going for the Phils. He's been pretty good this year despite a win-loss record of 1-3. 2.62 ERA. It's Carson Palmquist, the rookie, I believe, who is 0-1 with 11.25 ERA. I don't know how you make a case for the Rockies. I don't know, like, if there is just a game or it's just an anomaly. Because I will say this. The Rockies have won 8 games, and I think we've bet against them on a couple of those. But how do you not play the Phillies in some way, shape, form, or fashion in this one?
I'm playing the Phillies on the run line at minus 162. I really am. I know. It's seriously. I think minus 1.5 should be like minus 180 or something like that. So I know you're like, dude, okay, you're kind of pushing it. I don't care. Carson Palmquist is making his 2nd ever Major League start for the Rockies. Last Friday against the Diamondbacks, he gave up 5 runs, 6 hits over 4 innings. That was on the road. Now he has to go to Coors Field. And the Phillies tee off on left-handers. Palmquist is a left-hander. The Phillies, against lefties, 1st in average, 6th in slugging, 5th in OPS. They got Taijuan Walker on the mound. Giving up more than 2 runs only once in 8 starts. Now, your sabotage factor, I guess, is that he hasn't gone long in a few of those games. But they still have a monster advantage over that Rockies bullpen which has an ERA of 7.25 over the past week. I am playing Phillies on the run line at minus 162, and I don't care that it's juicy.
Yeah, I think that if you don't want to lay the juice, because it is minus 175 over at BetMGM, here's what you can do, because I feel like this makes sense and it's correlated. You can do the Phillies team total runs over 3.5 and parlay it with the Phillies on the run line, minus 1.5. That's minus 135. Doesn't it feel like those bets kind of correlate? Because if they're covering the run line, I don't see this game ending 2-0. Like, I could be wrong here, but what's the total in this one? Like 11.5? Runs are not going to be at a premium. So I think that's going to make the card for me. The Phillies on the run line combined with the over 3.5 for the team total. I think that the Phillies are going to score at least 4 runs, and I think they're going to win by at least 2 runs.
Oh, that's a smart way to play it. I'll be the dumb guy laying all this juice, and then you be the smart bettor. That's why this show works. We have the contrast. You play a smarter way with less juice. I'll lay it and roll the dice.
No, I think it's like we're both kind of idiots here because, like, am I going to call myself a smart bettor for using a parlay? Like, no,
Sure.
We know that's how the sports books make their money. They made money off us last night. Damn it, Indiana Fever. So I'm not going to call myself like a super sharp bettor, but I understand the sentiment there. Let's talk about this one. Maybe it's not a game that we bet on, but Jacob deGrom is looked better than ever, or maybe not better than ever because he's been so good in the past, but he looks like his old self recently. 4-1 now with a 2.29 ERA on the season. His Rangers visiting the Yankees. So this game is a pickup. So the odds makers are certainly giving the Rangers some credit in this one. Ryan Yarbrough goes for the Pinstripes. Today, he is 1-0 with a 3.70 ERA. Jenks, I don't know if I trust the Rangers bats, but I think I'm back in the circle of trust with Jacob deGrom.
You know what I really like in this game? First 5 under 4 is minus 125. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
I think that is
I much rather would do an under.
Yes. I mean, you mentioned Jacob deGrom. He's been awesome. Coming off his best performance of the year, 8 shutout innings against the Astros, struck out 8. Hasn't given up more than 2 runs in any of his last 6 starts. And you're saying, okay, yeah, this is the Yankees. Also, during those 6 starts, he's faced the Mariners, who can hit, the Athletics twice, and the Dodgers. So he has faced some really stout lineups and still thrived. Ryan Yarbrough, generally a reliever. So this is his, second start of the season. But he was good last time out against the A's, 2 earned over 5 innings. But the Rangers are near the bottom half of the majors in the first 5 anyway. So they're not a great hitting club. You would think they would be, but they're really not. First 5 under 4 is minus 125. That's my play.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, especially because I think the only sabotage factor for Jacob deGrom here is that he went 8 innings last game. And as somebody who has had a ton of injury concerns, I don't expect him to probably go back-to-back starts where he's throwing, 7 or 8 innings. So maybe they only leave him in there for 5 innings, but that's all you need if you have a first 5 play. So I think that's a really smart bet. And I will maybe be on that one as well. All right, free roll here. Is there any game that I missed that you do want to talk about?
You know what? I will just say very quickly that if you want some plus money, I know I lay the juice here, but Corbin Burns on the mound for Arizona today, taking on Dustin May. The Dodgers, Corbin Burns has really settled in nicely, coming off a 10 strikeout performance. Yeah, against the Rockies, but has not allowed more than 2 runs in each of his last 5 starts. Faced the Dodgers, Mets, and Cubs. I think the D-backs can have success against Dustin May. They're 3rd in slugging, 4th in OPS in all of baseball when playing at Chase Field. Diamondbacks first 5, if you back Corbin Burns, is plus 110.
Yeah, and if you look at the Diamondbacks, it's been a split so far this series. Diamondbacks won game 1, and yesterday it was the Dodgers that won, but only by 1 run. So I think this series is a little tighter than maybe some of these lines indicate.